An introduction to Reiki energy. We are all born with the power to heal ourselves. Our bodies are in a constant state of maintaining balance. Reiki is the energy that connects our higher self with everything around us. In the past, our ancestors had an innate wisdom that they used to heal themselves and maintain vitality. Over time, with our focus shifting to external matters, we have lost the ability to clearly see within. Reiki is a bridge between the ancient traditions of healing and the modern-day scientific model. The Buddhist proverb, "When a student is ready, the teacher appears," is often true in the case of Reiki. You may have found this course at just the perfect time in your life. Reiki is the intelligent life force that connects us to what we need. All living things are infused with energy. As a species, we have been fascinated by this energy and the power it has over every being. This energy goes by many names, such as ki, chi, prana, and soul. From the time we are conceived, this energy permeates our bodies. Science has confirmed the presence of this energy, and using tools such as Kirlian photography, developed in the late 1930s, can capture visual proof. With this understanding, many disciplines have been developed to balance this energy. Reiki, Qigong, Tai Chi, meditation, yoga, and Feng Shui are just a few of the many ways individuals can enhance the flow of this energy. Here are 5 examples of things you can do to enhance your energy. Ingest food and drink that provide your body with nutrients. Create habits that help maintain a clear state of mind. Spend time outdoors, focusing on your breath. Meditate. Create positive mental patterns to help you process life. Our potential is tremendous, but in order to become the powerful beings we were meant to be, we need to change our focus. Reiki is not only a tool for physical healing, but mental and spiritual growth as well. Performing and practicing the art of Reiki will help you to lead a more gratifying life. Reiki is a gift that is given to each and every one of us. By opening your mind to this energy, you will be more capable of seeing the synchronicity in your life and be able to let your life flow. You already have access to this amazing life force and use it. You just may not realize it. We use Reiki energy instinctively. When we were children and were hurt, we were soothed by our mother's caring touch. A symbolic kiss to make it better actually did by sending healing Reiki energy to the wounded area. We naturally hold and protect areas that we have injured, and in doing so, are also drawing in Reiki energy to those parts to help them recover. This energy is plentiful and is available to everyone. There is no one person who holds the rights to this energy. Reiki is not trademarked or patented. The only thing you need to access Reiki energy is the motivation to align yourself to it. This concludes Reiki works. Although Reiki has traditionally been used as a healing system, it is extremely effective as a way to help individuals increase awareness, insight, wisdom, and personal growth. Our bodies are energetic in nature. Our bones resonate at lower frequencies, while our blood, thoughts, etc. vibrate at higher frequencies. This magnetic pulse is known as a biomagnetic field. In Eastern traditions, this pulse is known as ki or prana. It is interesting to note that scientists have found that measuring the magnetic fields of the body often provide a more accurate indication of what is happening in the body than traditional electrical measurements. When a practitioner is performing a healing session, the energy that emanates from their hands produces a significantly larger biomagnetic reading, 7 to 10 Hz, theta and alpha range, than a non-practitioner. These frequencies are associated with physical healing. Contentment, relaxation, decreased feelings of stress, fear, and anxiety, as well as a reduction, and in some cases elimination of physical illnesses and persistent conditions, are common observations from clients after a Reiki session. There are countless case studies and anecdotal research verifying the effects of Reiki sessions. Entrainment is the tendency for two oscillating bodies to lock into phase so that they vibrate in harmony. In 1665, Dutch physicist and scientist Christian Huygens found that when he placed two clocks with pendulums on a wall close to each other and swung the pendulums at different rates, eventually they would end up swinging in sync at the exact same rate. Huygens realized that this concept applied to not just pendulum clocks, but as a basic law of physics. During a Reiki session, the practitioner places their hands on or just above a client's body. The practitioner conducts universal energy from their arms and out through their hands where it flows into the client's body. When a practitioner and client come together, they are the two oscillating objects discussed in the definition of entrainment. Every cell in our body and every atom in the universe is in a constant state of vibration. The tendency for two objects is to lock into phase so that they vibrate in harmony. In most cases, the weaker of the two oscillating objects will have a tendency to adjust to the stronger vibration. In a Reiki session, the practitioner does not rely on their own personal energy. Rather, they are conduits for focusing the energy from the world around them. We are born with the innate intelligence of Reiki, and it illuminates our body-mind, stimulating balance and growth. Over time, however, habits and choices that do not serve our highest good can stifle that flow of energy, resulting in a loss of vitality and eventually imbalance. What sets Reiki apart from other forms of touch therapy are the attunements that the practitioner receives. These attunements open the channels in an individual so that they are in direct contact with universal life force. After an attunement, these channels are open forever. In Reiki Level 1, 4 attunements are given. Reiki's Level 2 and 3 have 1 attunement each. Reiki does not create new abilities in a practitioner. Instead, it reveals abilities that they already have. Like plugging a lamp into an outlet that already has electricity, Reiki helps the practitioner make the connection. Like turning on the lamp, all the practitioner needs to do is activate the energy by placing their hands on themselves or others, or visualizing doing so. Reiki Level 1 focuses on the health of the practitioner. After this level, individuals can heal themselves, as well as others who are physically present. It takes 3 to 4 weeks to adjust to the initial attunements. Individuals may find shifts occur in their dreams, energy levels, or experience minor detoxification symptoms. The practitioner will feel well as they shift through the changes that occur as a result of more energy entering their aura and chakras. At times of discomfort, the practitioner may find that performing a Reiki session, either on themselves or others, will help to balance the energy. It is recommended that especially in the first month after an attunement, that the Reiki practitioner performs Reiki sessions on themselves and others daily. Although there are many modalities that have been developed to stimulate the flow of energy within a body-mind, in comparison, Reiki is easy to learn and practice. It is also a modality that benefits the practitioner as well as the recipient and can be used as an extremely effective tool for personal growth as well as healing on all levels. This concludes Reiki Level 1. Reiki Level 1, The History of Reiki and Dr. Mikao Usui. When word of mouth is used to pass on traditions and historical information, it tends to be adapted. Although Mikao Usui is credited as the founder of Reiki, it is widely thought that this form of healing has been around for centuries and that Usui rediscovered this art in the late 1800s. Mikao Usui was born on August 15, 1865. At a very early age, Usui entered a Tendai Buddhist school near Mount Kurama. Usui was known for his gentle character and his honest and candid mannerisms. Usui enjoyed learning and reading and explored a variety of topics, including medical science, religion, divination, history, and psychology. Usui traveled to Europe, America, and studied in China. Usui also studied Gikko, the Japanese version of Qigong. Usui noted that the healing techniques he was learning depleted the energy of the practitioner, and he wondered if it was possible to heal without using the energy of the practitioner. In March 1922, Usui was having difficulties in his business and personal life, and enrolled in a 21-day training course sponsored by the Tendai Buddhist Temple located near Mount Kurama. Fasting, meditation, chanting, and prayers were a likely part of the practice. There is a small waterfall on Mount Kurama where people stand under to meditate. This practice is believed to activate the crown chakra. Japanese Reiki masters think that Usui may have used this meditation as part of his practice. It was during this training that Reiki energy entered Usui's crown chakra. He became aware of his ability to use this life force to heal himself and others with immediate results. Usui wanted to share this gift with others and moved to Tokyo in April 1922, establishing a center where Reiki was taught and given to the public. Usui called his system of healing Usui Reiki Ryoho. In 1923, the Kanto earthquake hit Tokyo with an estimated 140,000 people dying and the city in ruins. Usui performed Reiki on as many individuals as he could and began training other teachers. It was also at this time that he developed methods including a more formal attunement process. Usui traveled to share Reiki to places such as Kure, Hiroshima, Saga, and Fukuyama. At an inn where Usui stayed while traveling, he suffered a stroke and passed away March 9, 1926. It is believed that his grave is at a temple in Suganami, Tokyo, although some claim that his ashes are located elsewhere. After Usui died, his students erected a memorial stone next to his gravestone. Contrary to what has been told in the West, there is no lineage bearer or Grand Master of the organization started by Usui. It is estimated that Usui taught over 2,000 students and initiated 20 teachers. This concludes Reiki Level 1, The Legend of Dr. Usui and History of Dr. Hayashi and Madame Takata. The information you are about to hear regarding Dr. Usui is what was passed down from Madame Takata. Any information that has since been disproved through research has been excluded. Mikao Usui was born into a family that had been practicing Zen Buddhism for 11 generations. During his youth, Usui developed a fascination with Western culture. After leaving school, Usui studied allopathic medicine with several Western allopathic physicians. Usui became ill when a cholera epidemic spread through Tokyo. During his time in the hospital, Usui was close to death and had a spiritual experience. This inspired Usui to study the ancient teachings of his ancestors. Usui joined a Zen monastery and began reading ancient Sanskrit and sutras. After many years of study, Usui found references to an ancient form of healing. Further study revealed methods, formulas, and symbols that detailed exactly how to practice and master this art of hands-on healing. However, although he had the technical knowledge to practice healing, he lacked the wisdom to turn the teachings into reality. Usui decided to seek out the missing piece through meditation. Taking leave from the monastery, Usui went up Mount Kurama. When he reached the top, he picked up 21 pebbles and placed them in front of himself. He sat down and began his meditation. Each day, he threw away one pebble. For 21 days, he prayed, meditated, sang, and read the sutras. On the last day as he prayed, he asked to be shown the light. Suddenly, a bright light appeared in the sky and came rapidly towards him, hitting him on his forehead, at the third eye chakra. Usui was knocked unconscious, and in this altered state saw a vision of the same symbols he had found in the sutras. When Usui regained consciousness, he returned down the mountain. On his descent, he stubbed and cut his toe, and he instinctively placed his hand on the toe, and the bleeding and pain stopped immediately. At a nearby village, he stopped to eat and rest. He was able to eat a healthy meal without any stomach pain despite his fasting. The girl who served Usui the meal was suffering from a toothache. Usui asked if he could place his hands on her swollen face. She agreed, and he was able to ease the swelling and pain. Usui returned to the monastery and found his friend the abbot in bed suffering from severe arthritis. Again, Usui was able to relieve the pain. Usui called this gift Reiki, the Japanese word for universal life force. These experiences became known as the Four Miracles. The abbot advised Usui to take Reiki into the slums of Kyoto to heal the beggars. Usui spent time performing Reiki in the hopes of helping the beggars heal and gain employment, but he found them returning to him with the excuses that it was easier to beg. Usui had forgotten a basic doctrine. He was reminded that healing the body as well as the spirit and mind is crucial. Usui retreated to meditate once again. This time, he received the 5 principles of Reiki. The rest of Usui's life was spent healing, teaching, and developing the Usui Shiki Ryoho method of healing. Reiki was created by Usui to have no dogma or religious beliefs attached to it. This made Reiki universal. Chujiro Hayashi was a physician and retired Marine commander. Before Usui died, he asked Hayashi to open his own Reiki clinic and to expand and develop Reiki Ryoho based on his previous experience as a medical doctor in the Navy. Hayashi opened a school and clinic, and after Usui passed away, Hayashi left the Reiki Society founded by Usui. At Hayashi's clinic, careful records were kept of all the illnesses and conditions that were addressed. He also made notes of which Reiki hand positions worked best to treat various ailments. Based on these records and notes, Hayashi wrote the Reiki Ryoho Shinshin, translated Guidelines for Reiki Healing Method. This guide was part of the class manual Hayashi gave to his students. Hayashi altered the way Reiki sessions were given. Rather than having the client seated in a chair and treated by one practitioner as Usui had done, Hayashi had the client lie on a treatment table and receive treatment from several practitioners at the same time. Hayashi also created a new system for giving attunements. In addition, he developed a brand new method of teaching Reiki that he used when traveling. In this method, he taught both Reiki 1 and 2 together in one 5-day seminar. Each day included 2 to 3 hours of instruction and 1 attunement. Hayashi traveled to Hawaii in 1937 prior to the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, and was asked by the Japanese military to provide information about the location of warehouses and other military targets in Honolulu. He refused to do so and was declared a traitor. Hayashi performed seppuku, ritual suicide, in response to the disgrace that his family faced in light of his decision. Hayashi died on May 11, 1940. Mrs. Hawayo Takata brought Reiki from Japan to the West in 1937 and continued to practice and teach until she passed away in 1980. This is a summary of Mrs. Hawayo Takata's version of her years leading up to her contact with Reiki at the Hayashi Clinic. Takata stated that she was born on December 24, 1900, on the island of Kauai, Hawaii. Her parents were Japanese immigrants and her father worked in the sugarcane fields. Takata married a bookkeeper of the plantation where she was employed and they had 2 daughters. On October 1930, her husband died at the age of 34. After 5 years of long hours of labor to support her family, Takata developed severe abdominal pain and a lung condition and had a nervous breakdown. Soon after, one of Takata's sisters died and it was her responsibility to travel to Japan, where her parents had resettled, to deliver the news. After informing her parents, Takata entered a hospital and stated that she was diagnosed with a tumor and gallstones, appendicitis, and asthma. She was told to prepare for surgery, but chose to visit Hayashi's clinic instead. Mrs. Takata was unfamiliar with Reiki, but was impressed that the diagnosis from the Reiki practitioners at the clinic closely matched the doctors at the hospital. She began receiving treatments. Takata wanted to learn Reiki in order to continue treating herself and also to take it back to Hawaii to share with others. Hayashi allowed Takata to work at his clinic and also began giving her Reiki training. Takata worked 1 year at the clinic and eventually received the Reiki Master level. Hayashi officially acknowledged this in Hawaii on February 21, 1938, and also stated that she was one of 13 Reiki Masters trained by him. Takata practiced Reiki in Hawaii, opened several clinics, one of which was located in Hilo on the Big Island. She gave treatments and initiated students up to Reiki 2. Takata became a renowned healer and traveled the U.S. mainland and other parts of the world, teaching and giving treatments. She attributed her success to the fact that she performed a lot of Reiki on each client. Takata would often do multiple treatments on a client, each sometimes lasting hours, and often initiated members of a client's family so that they could give Reiki to the client as well. After 1970, Takata began initiating Reiki Masters for a fee of $10,000 for the weekend training. This high fee was not a part of the Usui system. Takata may have charged this fee as her way of creating a feeling of respect for Reiki. She believed that treatments and training should never be given for free. Takata also stated that one must study with one Reiki teacher and remain with that teacher the rest of one's life. In addition, Takata did not provide written instructions or allow students to take notes or to record the classes. Students were not allowed to make written copies of the Reiki symbols. Takata attributed these restrictions to the notion that Reiki was an oral tradition and that everything must be memorized. It is not certain why Takata said Reiki is an oral tradition or why she taught Reiki this way. Based on research, these rules were not part of the way Usui or Hayashi practiced Reiki. Takata received a Reiki manual from Hayashi. In addition, Takata taught Reiki differently than how she had been taught by simplifying and standardizing the hand positions so that every treatment would be the same. Takata called this the foundation treatment with 8 hand positions. Before Mrs. Takata died on December 11, 1980, she had initiated 22 Reiki Masters. These 22 Masters began teaching others with the promise to Takata that they would continue teaching Reiki in the same manner she had. After Hayashi died and World War II ended, Takata stated that all the other Reiki Masters in Japan had died during the war and that she was the only Reiki Master in the world. Most people refrained from researching the history of Reiki, assuming Takata was the only authority. Many of the masters Takata initiated also discouraged people from doing such research, stating that it was not needed, as their knowledge of Reiki was complete. After World War II, Eastern medicine in Japan was discouraged by the U.S. government, and Reiki practitioners became more secretive with their practice. The linguistic, cultural, and geographic barriers that separated the United States from Japan made verifying the accuracy of Takata's claims difficult. Most individuals did not realize that the organization started by Usui still existed in Japan, and that contact with them, while difficult, was still possible. Like any information that is transmitted, it is altered, and over the last 2 decades, new information has become available regarding the history of the development of Reiki. The exclusive nature of Reiki organizations in Japan made Reiki less accessible, with individuals traveling to the U.S. to learn it. Reiki practiced in Japan and in America is a blend of both Western and Japanese Reiki. Takata is credited for helping Reiki flourish to the degree that it has in the Western Hemisphere. Over time, some of the masters that Takata trained began lowering their course fees. This also corresponded with changes in how Reiki was taught, allowing the wisdom of Reiki to guide sessions. Reiki classes became more open, with workbooks, notes, and recordings. Students were encouraged to seek out more than one teacher. This shift helped Reiki to become widely taught, and it is estimated that there are over 1 million Reiki masters in the world today, with well over 4 million practitioners. There are now several different associations throughout the world fighting among each other, with each claiming to have the only correct way of teaching Reiki. Many forms of Reiki have been developed to accommodate the various interests of practitioners, and also as a way to trademark the modality so that students can only seek out instruction from specific instructors. There is only one Reiki. No one has the right to claim it as their own. It belongs to humanity and the universe. As practitioners, we need to work together to promote Reiki. Together, we can bring this gift of healing to the world. We need to embody the principles of Reiki. That being said, if you plan on joining an association, look at the benefits they will provide for the fees that they charge. If they are advertising for you, look at how much traffic their website receives. What information will they provide you with? Will they charge you to use their certificates and manuals? In most cases, with Reiki, clients will be attracted to you through word of mouth. Most individuals are not aware of associations, so do not assume that you need to belong to one in order to be a credible practitioner. There is only one Reiki, and it belongs to all of us.